So, holiday is over, so we're resuming a video. So, Tracy Harmoush on Instagram says, having the right partner is like having a giant mirror in your life, a mirror that reflects your best and your worst. Most people are not ready for that. If you have a partner who has the strength for confrontation, who's willing to have the uncomfortable conversations, who calls you out no matter how draining it gets, not to win a fight, but to help you rise, then count yourself lucky. But if you get defensive, if you shut down, you waste the rarest gift of all, someone who loves you enough to hold up that mirror. Most people prefer to only whisper behind someone's back. Holding up the mirror is not about control, but responsibility and intention. So, intention matters. The mirror can be a weapon, or both people can rise, and the right partner will expose the parts of you that you hide from the world, even yourself. And if you're ready, you'll see that mirror is a gift if you're willing to grow. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe says on parsha Chukas that there are several ways that forgiveness can be granted, including 1, forgiving the other for wronging so the other is not punished. 2, forgives not only to prevent punishment, but also because he doesn't harbor any ill feelings in his heart. And 3, forgives wholeheartedly in a manner that shows he was entirely appeased. The forgiven is desirable and cherished by him as he was before he wronged him. Online, I saw something that someone told me that everyone, I don't know who wrote it, everyone comes into a relationship with baggage. You can either trip over each other's stuff or unpack it together. The right person will help you unpack. There's somebody called Frankie's Therapy on Instagram, and it says the right person won't make you shrink your needs just to stay close. Avoidant love says your needs are inconvenient, handle it alone. But secure love says, I see you struggling, let me help you carry it. 2 kinds. 1 will carry you when your feet hurt, and 1 will say you should have worn different shoes. Safe love doesn't shame softness. It makes space for it. It protects, not punishes, vulnerability. You deserve the kind of love that helps carry the weight, not adding to it. So don't confuse strength with silence, or independence with not needing anyone. So you don't confuse strength with silence and independence with not needing anyone. People who cannot communicate. I saw this online. It says, or maybe, I think I saw it online, but don't remember from where. Okay. People who can't communicate think everything is an argument, and people who lack accountability think everything is an attack. I want to share from this group called Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, 12-step program group meetings, and addicts, avoidance. I mean, you can't stop yourself. So basically, when you want freedom or healing, you have to learn like a new download. You download a new program. So there's a program of recovery. You can recover like healthy sexuality, healthy love. If you felt that at some point it became like dysfunctional, or like someone mentioned something about a garden, thinking about like if the garden got a little ruined, you come to the place to garden it better. So these are the blessings that can happen when you do the work. 1, we came to find intimacy with ourselves, with God, and then with others. 2, in domestic partnerships, we discovered a whole new sexuality experience as a non-addictive medium. 3, in relationships with others, we let go of self-serving power and prestige as driving motives. 4, careers that had been exploited mainly for material security at the expense of self-fulfillment no longer appeal to us. 5, our usefulness as channels for healing was a direct result of our experience in sickness as well as in recovery. 6, we discovered that we could continue to affirm our recovery by working with other addicts. 7, we discovered that the source of love, which was God, had begun to flow from within us. So higher self-esteem and these blessings, which we wouldn't have known how to ask for, comes from working the 12 steps, which is 12 steps of of levels, really, like going up a ladder, getting to the top as a lifestyle, as reaching a new place. On Instagram, Francis Psychology speaks about how the brain releases more dopamine in response to inconsistent romantic behavior than to stable relationships. Dopamine here, we're not talking about bonding. We're talking about like a rush, like a, I feel like pleasure, power, like hit of yeah, like a reward, delight. So this keeps the person in a state of seeking and anticipation. Neurologically, this is similar to addiction, the emotional highs and lows. So it's like a constant state of arousal and vigilance. You may mistake this anxiety for passion and chemistry when in reality it's a stress response. In a CODA meeting, which is a Codependence Anonymous 12-step meeting, the themes that I noticed recently in my life were separation anxiety, security blanket, like dealing with young inner codependent self that I started to take responsibility for. Object permanence, violation and abused and objectification, or just very raw, oversensitive because of avoiding intimacy. Fear of desires being used against me, so I don't trust or want my desires. So this is like things that I was working through. I'm so glad to read this at the moment. Passive aggressive and aggressive versus assertive. Body image, self-worth, self-respect. Owning when I act out or lash out, like keeping my side of the street clean. I really like this, what I just said before, violated, abused, or objectified, or was it just because I was raw and oversensitive because of avoiding intimacy? And I was thinking about that for a long time. I was single. Appropriate touch and affection that doesn't cloud my clarity. And then thinking of yichud, I learned that it forbidden seclusion of a man and an unmarried woman. Sanhedrin 21a, radak and abarbanel, because of the details of the incident of Amnon raping, then discarding his half-sister Tamar, becoming known. She was screaming loudly as she went. Isn't that ridiculous that it only started because of her screaming? Ashley Velvet Frost speaks on Instagram about how the false self is the part of you that mastered performance to feel loved. When a child loses access to their aggression, they lose the boundary between you and me. Being too much is often just being fully present in a world that prefers absence. Your truth needs healthy aggression. Both demand that you value your truth needs healthy aggression. Both demand that you value your inner knowing more than external approval. Aggression is how the body defends connection from being violated. Healthy aggression is self-love with a spine. The loss of aggression is the birth of the false self. Self-worth is not complete without the capacity to defend it. When safety depends on harmony, authenticity becomes a threat. And I think here harmony is almost like maybe people-pleasing rather than understanding something that there's conflict. Not the harmony that comes from everything being okay mixed together, or as it is in balance, but basically the kind of harmony where like you have to like appease. So then being authentic would be a threat because it's like, oh no, don't rock the boat because we can't handle it. Anyway, I went to an ACA meeting, a Adult Children of Alcoholics or Dysfunctional Family meeting, also a 12-step program to learn about parenting yourself from the times where you didn't really get it. I've loved this program. It's the newest one to me. And actually, it's not the newest one. I went to the SLAA one, similar timing, but I really like the ACA one, or what it's helping me within myself. So not just with rage and shame, but there's this increased depth and richness I was noticing about being honest, things to look forward to, little pleasures, and an inner approach, which like positive feedback versus fault finding, and also feeling cherished, cared for, loved. My higher power brought into my inner child, and the loneliness and deep pain that I felt was possible from living others' curriculums and goals and letting them frustrate me and kill my will by using my desires against me. And I was just, it's bizarre. I was thinking earlier about how my father would like throw me up too high and then catch me, and I don't think I enjoyed it. I think it was scary. Maybe what I wanted was a hug, and he would throw me away, and he thought he was having fun. I became like a ball to him, like an object without a will. I wanted something. I wanted maybe closeness. I don't know, I'm just saying. Anyway, outsourcing who I have to answer to. So the loneliness and deep pain that I felt was possible from living others' curriculums and goals, letting them frustrate me and kill my will because I was living out their goals and curriculums by using my desires against me. So if I wanted to do what I wanted to do, they tried to make that into be like, punish me with it. And outsourcing who I have to answer to, instead of answering to myself, what takes away my pain and loneliness. That's what I used to do. Also, female friends, community, versus just a man, like, I deserve to be taken care of directly, and I'm not a failure just because I didn't do stuff on my action plan, and I can keep myself safe. And I'm also noticing I was able to have a relationship with my mother where I didn't have to give more than comfortable or hurt myself to please her. I can actually enjoy spending time and I can also feel responsible in certain ways. And the last things I want to share today is from the OA meeting I went to, which is a 12-step program as well, and it's Overeaters Anonymous, for people who eat in a compulsive way or emotionally instead of just for food, or repeatedly eat things that cause them harm, whatever. Basically, you don't feel like you're in control. You can't stop yourself. So, and it's like it's costing you something, or in some way it became dysfunctional. So I realized I hadn't faced my brokenness, that I don't love and accept myself properly. I'm stuck as that inner child overwhelmed. I mean, I wrote this. I'm not saying this is always how I felt. This is a version of me. I see the handwriting is often different in the stuff that I write at the meetings, by the way, versus when I'm taking notes. Like all different handwritings, I almost feel like maybe the speaking takes away something, that handwriting, all different colors, all different, yeah. I don't know if anyone will ever really know any of this. So, screaming at the phone, wanting to be heard, wanting to be known and understood instead of blaming and controlling, then I can also love and accept. No one really deserves that I should scream at them that they deserve to die because of my fear and distrust of my desires was used against me. The fact that I had that deprivation and humiliation, I don't need to blame others in my life now. The isolation, avoidance, indulgence patterns never really felt safe. It was just a way to avoid giving someone power over my emotions and my state. I can love and accept myself even with my stubbornness, self-sabotaging, fears, trust issues, and big appetite. But dopamine can continue to become more balanced. I can be proactive. It's called pre-active, like prebiotics versus probiotics. It's like proactive care, pre-active care. I think when I exercise, actually, it's causing that. I learn to be honest and articulate, and learn to feel desire, want, yearning in a healthy way. And tomorrow is Friday, and I don't know if I'll do a video before the Sabbath. I don't know that I will, so I might do it on Saturday night because this is for Thursday. And now that the Sabbath is starting, Shabbos is starting earlier. I'm going to be having Shabbos also go out a little earlier, perhaps. So we'll see. Maybe I could say I owe you one, but not really. I wish everybody the Shabbos, Simcha Parts Geder, Yeshuos, good friendship, good kind of harmony, balance, cozy, warm, ability to be honest and authentic with healthy boundaries and healthy outlets for the aggression that can happen when things get close to the edge. I'm referring here only to very, very subtle aggression. And just feeling that beloved, cherished, chosen feeling, and having pre and proactive self-care and healing and deep richness in all areas of life, interdependence and functionality and the true self, and true forgiveness and good guidance, and being grateful for the mirror, being grateful for healthy, proactive confrontation for the sake of union, for the sake of oneness. Secure, non-hypocritical, non-double standards, honest, real, even admitting when there's been double standards or hypocritical, unpacking, and polishing of the diamond is gentle, not irritating, not annoying. Connecting with that version of the brown adipose tissue that the new babies have. Some people note it in the fact that they like to eat the flesh of the baby cow called the calf, and which is called veal, right? And then lamb, people eat, and they say that it's a different kind of fat. So in humans, at least, there's something called brown adipose fat. I wonder if those animals have it, but basically we could have that newness again, that it keeps us warm without us having to shiver. and all the trauma healed in the hypothalamus. And a lot of cute miracles all the time, and signs of God's will and the power to carry it out. And to love God makes it so much easier to serve with joy. To all the little, anyone out there who has a little animal that they love that they can't have in their home as it starts to get a little colder outside, or human. May they be well taken care of by the Creator, kept warm and nourished. And let us rest easy, never worry, knowing there will always be more options, everything's going to work out, everything's going to settle in place. And not get too worried about saving what they call saving you can't save your behind and your face at the same time. So both are exposed, you have to choose which one you want to cover. So if you want to save face, so and just to be able to tell the truth. And that the truth should be, I love you, Hashem. Okay. Have a good Shabbos. Happy Erev Shabbos. Bye-bye.